Welcome back to my book journal. Again, it's been a long time. I am trying to learn electronics before I go to school for it. And The Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC for Elden Ring is coming out so soon, and I'm so excited, and I don't have any time to do anything. So today I'm talking about the second book in the hell is it called? The second book in the Greenbone saga, Jade War. I did just finish this one, so I should be able to remember it a little bit better than Jade City, but we'll see. My brain is hungry. I think. This book takes place right after Hilo and Andin finish their fight with the Horn of the Mountain Clan and sort of end the war through violence. And because of that, because the main fighting part of the war is over, this book can seem slower, less action-packed. Like the first one was way up here, and this one you got to bring yourself back down. You can't stay like that forever, so you bring yourself back down. It starts out with the guy who killed Lan in the first book going grave robbing because he wants Lan's jade. Lan fell into the ocean. He couldn't take the jade off of Lan, and he wants it. He needs it. His whole life is based around jade. Anyway, Andin hates what he did. He used channeling to kill this guy, and, well, he doesn't hate that he killed him. He hates how it made him feel. He loved it. He loved the power of jade. And his own mother went a little bit crazy. She got jade fever. She got the itches, and she ended up killing herself. And Andin is just terrified. He says, I don't want to end up like my mom. There's plenty of other things that I can do. Don't need to be a jade warrior. So he's about to graduate from the Jade Academy, which is, like Hogwarts, but for Jade. It's like 7 or 8 years long, and you just learn Jade disciplines, and you go into one of the clan fields, either a weatherman, a healer, or a fighter. Anyway, so Andin is up on the stage. He's about to receive his Jade, and he's like, no, I refuse. Humiliates the clan. Andin is kind of next in line right now, part of the Call family, the same family that Hilo and Shay and Lan were, cousin, but still part of that family, refuses. This humiliates Hilo, although, you know what, maybe he should have a little bit thicker skin, but humiliates Hilo, and Hilo says, you're banished. Go to Espenia. Get out of here. I hate you. Go to school over there. And Andin's like, okay, cool, I guess I will. It hurts my feelings, but okay. That story arc details his time in Port Massey, a small city on the coast of Espenia. He is living with other people who used to live in Kekon. The community is mostly people from Kekon. He learns what they do to try to stay in touch with their culture, as well as live with the Espenian gangs that are there that are very different from the gangs and clans in Kekon. Meanwhile, Hilo and Shay are trying to deal with the Mountain Clan's rise in economic power. The Mountain Clan is still selling jade illegally to other countries, and they're getting lots and lots of money for it. So Hilo and Shay are doing their very best to lock down the ports, go on raids for boats that they know has illegal jade on it, stop jade mining operations that are illegal, and all that sort of stuff. So the war in Kekon has become much more of a Cold War, a shadow war. Not many people are dying except when there's assassination attempts. It's very, very political. The Mountain Clan's leader, Ait Madashi, sets up a roundabout plan with jade smuggler called Zapunyo from a small island country, the Uyuan Islands, to get some of his thugs called Barukans to assassinate Hilo, which is super dishonorable in the culture. Jade warriors should fight each other if they want to kill each other. Whispering people's names, which is their word for assassination, is frowned upon more so than normally. Nobody really likes assassinations, but one, in their culture, somebody's being murdered, and two, you are thin-blooded, I think is what they call people who go against the green bone culture. So yeah, Itmadashi gets this assassination attempt against Hilo, but it turns out that Hilo couldn't make this picnic with his wife, Wen, so he sent Wen's brother and his horn to go and pick her up. There's a bomb in the car and it explodes. The horn dies, sucks. Wen is okay, but Hilo is super fucking pissed off. He says, without a doubt, I'm going to get the Sapunyo guy. I'm going to get rid of the Barukans, and I'm going to avenge my brother-in-law. Wen's like, super, let's do it. The Cold War culminates with all of these assassinations. Some political figures are assassinated, and Hilo and Shay now have to figure out a way to kill Itmadashi, which they also have they're trying to get a coup going, although it falters, and they're also planning to kill Sapunyo as revenge. So they want a coup, they want to get rid of Itmadashi, which basically would make the Mountain Clan their ally, and they want to kill Sapunyo because he is a illegal jade smuggler and he's an asshole. They have this intricate plan. Sapunyo is going to Espenia to have a surgical operation performed. While he's there, Andon, who lives in Espenia, and the fist of the local Kekonese population is going to assassinate Sapunyo. Things go wrong. Sapunyo doesn't want to meet in the desired location. So Wen is like, fucking sick, I'll do it. Wen is Hilo's wife. She can't use Jade, but she's like, I'll do it. You know, we can do it. And she gets in touch with Shay, and Shay helps her set up a new plan. They succeed in killing Sapunyo and his thugs, but the police in the area sell them out to the local crime gangs. And the local crime gangs say, no, we're done with you. We're gonna kill you. This is it. We've let you play around in our territory for too long. You're dead. You're gone. That's it. So they ambush Andon, Wen, and Ron Toro, the Fist, and strangle them to death, put a bag over their head with piano wire in it. It seems like double. You could have just done one of those, but they do both. I guess it would make it faster. Ron Toro is dead. Wen is unconscious, heart not beating, not breathing, everything like that. Andon is about to fall unconscious, and then the local Kekonese population storm the building because Andon has put a little phone call in but never got to talk to anybody. They figure out where he is. They save the day just in time. Andon, who has refused to wear jade ever again, grabs some jade that's in the area, a little bead that Ron Toro used, or maybe it was his gloves. Either way, he gets jade and uses that to heal Wen, bring her back from the dead, although iffy, she has brain damage now. But at least saves her life. You know, her heart wasn't beating, she wasn't breathing. In that action, using Jade like that, even though he never wants to kill anybody again, he has a revelation that maybe he can still be a green bone. Maybe he can still wear Jade, just use it for good. That's sort of the whole book. Andon and Wen are flown back to Kekon, and Hilo meets up with them. Everybody's good, everybody's fine. Hilo's mad at Shay and Andon for letting it happen, but in the end he sort of sees, like, you know, people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and Wen's brother was assassinated, so, you know, she's probably gonna want revenge anyway, and he couldn't have stopped her. That's the end of book 2. It was a great book. I loved it. Definitely a little bit slower. The first half was hard to slip back into after the action-packed nature of the first book. Oh, I forgot to say, Itmadashi, the leader of the Mountain Clan, challenged Shay to a clean blade duel, and Shay got her belly cut open, but she conceded, or, you know, said, like, I'm done, you won, you can take my jade. Itmadashi takes her jade. Shay is sliced open, bleeding, but honorably showed that even though she used to live in Espenia, she is still a Jade warrior, which made her gain public favor and made No Peak clan seem a little bit stronger than it had been, because Aitmadashi was doing some PR stuff against them. Yeah, so that's sort of the plot of the book. I really liked it. It was really cool to see. So you don't see Shay's life and perspective, because she didn't want to be a Greenbone anymore. She left Kekon to go live in Espenia with her fiance, and sort of got involved with the military as a spy. But she comes back not liking Kekon's culture. She thinks it's a little bit too brash. She doesn't like the way that the clans work. And that's very indicative of somebody who left their culture really trying to assimilate with their partner in another place, and saying, I'm happy doing what I'm doing, so I don't care about my past, which is, obviously also the reason why she could just become a spy for another nation's government. She had no qualms. She disliked Kekon, especially because positions in clans give you power to do morally corrupt things, even though you are honorable within the clan. She didn't want to stay there anymore. The leader of the business side of the clan was a reprehensible man before she took his role, and she couldn't stay around him anymore, so she had to leave. She hated how somebody like that was allowed to exist. And that, I think, influenced her sensibilities when it came to dismissing her own culture and coming back to it and kind of not liking it until she fully immersed herself, because her clan needed her. Andon had a very different, although similar situation, because he didn't want to be part of the clan anymore, but that was for personal reasons. He didn't want to kill anymore. He hated doing it. And then he was banished. He didn't want to leave Kekon, where Shay wanted to leave Kekon. So Andon goes to this same culture and doesn't want to assimilate. He finds these things, most of the things, different and hard to get his head around. He doesn't really understand what's going on. Because he doesn't fully throw himself into that culture, when he eventually comes back after the assassination, he has a much more level-headed approach to Kekon's culture. He really does realize that the Jade warriors aren't necessarily great people. Jade is a great part of Kekonese culture, but clan life, this killing, clean blades, just wanton murder, is obviously not good. He really, really missed his own culture, but being in another place and seeing how he can exist and do good without Jade. Emma, what are you doing? No. So he saw that he can exist and still do good in Kekonese culture, even though it's influenced by Espenia a little bit in Port Massey. He can still do good and be an upstanding citizen without Jade. He realizes that this Jade warrior clan thing and how it works in Kekon just causes pain and suffering. Even though that's the way that they've always done it, he says, okay, he realizes he can use Jade for good, even though that's not what men in Kekon culture are really supposed to do. They're supposed to fight. They're supposed to kill. They're supposed to challenge each other for Jade and take it, scaring citizens left and right instead of helping. Andon really, I think his character arc in this book was the most beautiful, because he can pick out what made Kekon great before the clans came into existence, after the occupation. The clans are just Kekonese people fighting and killing other Kekonese people instead of helping each other. And Andon says, I'm gonna wear Jade, I'm gonna become a healer, I'm only gonna help Kekonese people. I mean, no peak, but I'm only gonna help, I'm not gonna kill. That's bad, obviously. So this one, I'm also gonna rate a 4 because I was losing interest. There were long periods of the book where it was just Andon stumbling through Port Massey trying to find his feet, which is a great story and should be told. But after the first book, where I assumed it was going to be people fighting and punching each other with superpowers, that dip just hit a lot harder than it could have. Or if you were just reading a book about immigrating to another country, like, and stumbling through that country's culture and customs, like, that wouldn't be boring because that's the story that you assumed was going to happen. But after the first book, where it is just brutal fighting the whole time, and then you get to the next book and you're like, wow, this is not what I expected, it was a bit of a dip for me. So a 4 out of 5, still obviously great. I loved it. There was so much tension at the end of the book, and when Shay was going up against the Mountain Clan, it was just great. I loved it all around. Perfect. Well, no, it's a 4 out of 5, but you know what I mean. Thanks for watching.